12, when we introduced an NAPTIN Graduate Skill Development Program for engineers and technologists, we have trained and graduated about 241 last year.
241?
241 engineers. Okay. That is since December 2012 to date. But right now, NAPTIN has almost 799 engineers under this program, this NAPTIN Graduate Skill Development Program, which is a program for engineers and technologists, those with BSc and HND. And 331 of them will be graduating by first week of December. Then the other ones, sponsored by Shopee, will be graduating by April. And we're taking in another 150 engineers that will be inducted in December, sponsored by Shopee for the training. We have 520 engineers employed by a transmission company of Nigeria that we are about to commence their training. So we are looking at, by the end of 2015, we should have had about 1,500 well-trained engineers. Meanwhile, we do not have competent young engineers in the sector any longer after the disengagement. We have less than 1,000 engineers that we are trained, and some of them are aged and may not have even up to 3 more years before they step aside.
Well, that's appalling. Is that also, does it contribute to some of the problems we have in the power sector?
Of course.
In terms of distribution?
Right from time, the public does not know what what NEPA or PSCN was going through. Because 1998, 1989, there has not been any training, structured training. 1998, government placed embargo in employment. So when you don't have competent hands, even if you have the infrastructure ready, the light can't come to you. True. And you are losing equipment on daily basis because of maloperation.
Are you saying this didn't come to the knowledge of the government, or nobody realized this for several decades?
Well, of course, you know, if you look at how Nigeria has been going, 15 years or 20 years was under the military government. And it was then that we started having this problem. The last power station that was commissioned was Shiroro. And if you're not bringing in new equipment into the sector, how do you expect improvement? So throughout the military regime, there was no training, there was no expansion in the infrastructure that will give you light. So you can't expect more. In fact, nobody was addressing this issue. Even previous administration before the present one tried to do something. So that's why we have to commend the present administration for their huge initiative, especially identifying the most important factor.
All right, well, just hold on to that thought. We will come back to that. Of course, we also want to know what sort of collaborations you're having with other organizations, especially international organizations, to help boost the training program. Well, we're still with the Director General of the National Power Training Institute of Nigeria. When we come back, we'll have more. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're still with the Director General of the National Power Training Institute of Nigeria, Engineer Ruben Okeke. You're welcome again to the
Thank you very much.
Oh, let's continue now on this issue of manpower training and skills and all of that. You know, you recently mentioned that the Training Institute has to, or rather the government projection of 40,000 megawatts by 2020. The Institute would need to turn out a total of 1,204 graduate engineers each year. Can you confirm that?
Well, that's exactly for you to man the equipment and maintain the equipment that will give you 40,000 megawatts. We will require about 8,000 engineers to, back that up. And a total of 17,441 technical staff. That's both the craftsmen we're talking about and engineers. So I think that is correct. In a year, the capacity we have now and the facilities we have, including classrooms, we should be able to turn out about 1,400 in a year.
And is that becoming feasible?
Well, it's going to be feasible, quite all right, if the tempo at which the federal government is supporting, at which Shopee is supporting us, is going to be feasible. Already the federal government gave us a land space where we have started development, and that is, at Idu Industrial, is 10.69 hectares for a permanent site. We are hoping that by the time we get that commissioned next year, we should step up the number of engineers that we are going to turn out every year. And not only that, the manpower planning that gave those figures I gave you is based at the level of automation for which we have right now, is what we use when we are doing the manpower planning. But it's expected that with the intervention of the private people in the business coming into the market, the level of automation will increase. And if the level of automation increases, that number may slightly reduce a bit. So it is very feasible that we should be able to get that, the adequate manpower, the adequate technical staff, especially engineers, that can man the 40,000 megawatts if achieved by 2020.
When you speak of tempo, that really is critical. So really, is it slow, or are we having adequate support?
Well, we're having adequate support from the federal government. With what you started by saying, 1.3 billion, has been approved, for NAPSA's program. It means, yes, it means the tempo is being sustained. And we're expecting that, after that, remember, it is 1.3 billion from the federal government. Another 1.3 billion should come from the state government, And if that is sustained, we should be able to attain where we're going. Like Shopee is coming in. Shopee is presenting the government. They are sponsoring engineers. This year, they are about to, the first one was 220, now 150, and next year, if they continue, we should be able to get adequate manpower that can match that fiscal expansion.
It is commendable that this is happening, of course, at this time, but really, how sustainable is this going to be?
Well, it's going to be sustained, like I told you about tempo. It's going to be sustained because, first of all, our graduates will get employed, and those who are already working will get retired and old and step out. So those utilities will still engage new ones, and those new ones will still come to us. So for as long as light is on, the training is going to be sustained. And the market is here. Nigeria is an investor's destination right now. And that's why we're having a lot of collaborations coming in. You said we're about to have a regional workshop for 1 week with United States Energy Association starting on the 5th of February. We will have done this last year, last year's September or last year August. But because of Ebola, they withdrew, they didn't come back. So it's postponed. So we have collaboration with all these. United States Trade Development Agency, USTDA, have just completed a study on 3 of our most viable discos, Abuja, Ikeja, and Eko, and they have their recommendations. They did it with NAPTIN, with some of the Nigerian engineers, to bring out a recommendation for what we call aggregate technical, commercial, and collection losses. So the collaboration we're having right now is huge. And the federal government, especially our minister, who, his background, identifies that for us to get it right, NAPTIN must have to be supported. For as long as he is behind us and the federal government is behind NAPTIN, it's going to be sustained.
So in a couple of years, we should be seeing tangible difference in the sector.
Of course, it has started. You will have seen it has started. The difference they are looking for is increase in megawatts. Now, for the past 3 weeks, that megawatts have been sustained. We have been above 4,000 megawatts. Unlike before, where we were going 2,000, less than 3,000. Now, 4,000 is consolidated. And that is the tangible difference you are looking for. And those things are being made possible because of the human capital, because of the workforce. And of course, one of our mandates is that before we celebrate our 10th anniversary, we should have been in a position to award postgraduate diploma or even a higher degree in electricity-related courses. We are not going to go into undergraduate courses, but then one of our vision or one of our mission is to be sure that before we celebrate our 10th year anniversary, with the land given to us now, we should be able to start awarding degrees, higher degrees in electricity courses.
Very well. Thank you for sharing your perspective with us, Engineer Ruben Okeke. Thank you for coming on Dateline Abuja.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much for your views and comments as always. Continue to send us your opinions using the address and Twitter handle on your screen. And don't you forget, you can view the program on youtube.com/channelsweb/videos. And you can make a comment after viewing the current video as well as older episodes of the program. I'm Gloria Umezuke. Thank you for watching and see you again.